Hello, it's Gary reaching out from Elevate Practice Intelligence, and welcome to a new video on practice management. This video is geared towards the 0 to 3 year experienced clinician, whether you are a chiropractor, physiotherapist, occupational therapist working in private practice. In the second half of 2023, we experienced an overwhelming ask from young clinicians across Canada looking for support, looking for upskilling support in three main areas related to practice management. One is the caseload management, second is the time management, and third is the relationship management. And what we're seeing from the young practitioners across Canada is that they are willing to forego a technical skills course, whether it's a NAGS, SNAGS, Mackenzie B, manual therapy, for an upskilling course in their EQ, their emotional intelligence. How do they improve their self-efficacy? And they're willing to spend time, effort, energy, resources on this particular course rather than go to a weekend course for a technical skill for their Physio 2 belt. These are important skills, people skills to learn, and we are excited to be able to present a new 3-hour course for one-on-one coaching upskilling with the young practitioners across Canada. I feel like a great place to start for this video related to the practice management themes is to begin with a quote from Simon Sinek, and that is, a patient doesn't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. And then when we transfer that thought process into the first of the three themes around caseload management, it typically boils down to the challenges that a practitioner, especially a young practitioner, has with caseload management is low self-efficacy, where they have a really low attachment of value to the skills and the treatment that they provide their clients. I'm not saying it's an imposter syndrome, but it's just a really low value that they're placing on their skill sets, whether that's represented in a low price per treatment, where they might be charging $70 and the rest of the clinicians in the practice are charging $90 a treatment. It may show up in their stats where they are very inefficient in terms of holding caseload numbers because patients drop off at a rate of 20% or higher for EHB type paying clients, where they don't come back for after the third visit. We see that also in a high no-show cancellation rate. So there's some tells, if you are a practicing clinician, that you have this challenge. We have solutions for this low self-efficacy. That's the main point that we'll be talking around in caseload management. The second theme that we'll be talking about is time management, and the high-level look at time management on a schedule is to try to practice like you have walk-ins, that you might have 2 or 3 walk-ins every day. And the last thing that your clinic owner or you as a clinic owner would want is not to be able to accept a new patient for 48 hours. We know that patients show up to chiropractors and physios and OTs typically because they're in pain, and having a delay on access to care is not a good first client experience. So let's just take into account time management. When we think about it, we think about it from one main theme: stop trying to do too much in the time allotted for your care. You might be a young chiro where your treatment duration is 5 to 8 minutes, where you are doing a simple check-in, manipulation, and the patient's out the door. But what you've done well is you've set an expectation that this is what your care involves. It doesn't involve 40 minutes in the clinic. But if you're a physio or an OT, there might be more expectations on what a typical treatment session might look like. In the time management theme, we will unpack 3 simple to do, simple to incorporate thoughts. When you have a treatment and you're prepared for your caseload for the day, always think about a tip, a technique, and a take-home. A tip could be something that is educational. A technique could be an adjustment. It could be a myofascial release, it could be a needling, and then your take home is exercise progression, home exercise equipment to go home with, and not to overdo what is important in the session. So again, it goes back to self-efficacy, that the stronger your beliefs and in your talent to heal, the easier it is to provide one or two simple things through a tip, a technique, and a take-home that's going to be beneficial and create value for healing on the majority of your caseload. The third theme that we'll be talking about is relationship management. The key to relationship management is how do you, as a practitioner, through your own brand, so you will have your own brand existing within a practice, how do you achieve 1 to 2 new patients a day for your own caseload? So the things that we'll be talking about with you is how do you manage to achieve word of mouth or friends and family referral that make up 60+% of your caseload? How do you develop 3 to 5 deep relationships with GPs, any of the claim owners or case managers that are part of a B2B contract that you might have through an MBA company or a workers' compensation board? And the third point could be how are you getting referrals from local employers that start to fill your caseload? So we talk about relationship management in terms of the value that you create for the referral sources that send directly to you within a busy practice that might have 4 physios or 5 chiropractors or multiple OTs working in a community practice. So it's a combination of your personal brand. We won't dig into the SEO, SEM type of referral, digital media, digital platforms. This is all how do you have this confidence in your ability to form deep, meaningful relationships with a handful of really powerful and influencing caseloads, whether it's GP or business related. So that is it for the video today. Reach out to Gary at Elevate Practice Intelligence. You can reach me through my webpage, www.elevatemypractice.ca. There's also a 1833 number that you can reach me on. Happy to set up a free 30-minute consultation with you to understand if we are aligned to each other in terms of being able to help create value for you as a young clinician, and that you're investing time, energy, and resources in yourself as a practitioner, and the importance of practice management to be ultimately successful and have a longevity of 20-25 years as a practicing clinician. So all the best, and we'll talk to you on the next video. Thank you.